Nuggets guard Gary Harris explains dynamic with Michigan State coach Tom Izzo, you can't let him thin. New York U Denver Nuggets guard Gary Harris was once a Michigan State freshman who had enough OFA, bringing truth to power from a warning Draymond Green issued the previous summer. If he comes at you, you gotta go back at him, Harris recalled Green saying in 2012, when Green was preparing for the NBA draft and Harris was an incoming freshman from Indiana. You can't let him think. Green's words probably weren't consciously floating through his head at the time, but Harris instinctively fired back at Izzo during a game during that freshman season, cursing his coach for all to hear as the guard took a seat on Michigan State's bench. So when he saw during the Spartans' first-round NCAA tournament, Harris wasn't the least bit surprised although the social media-fueled reaction caught him off guard. Izzo don't have time for that. He's a freshman and Harris said he did speak to Henry and Izzo to get both sides of the story when was in Washington preparing for the Nuggets win over the Wizards on Thursday night. Izzo repeatedly got in Henry's face as Henry walked to the sideline for a timeout and had to be restrained somewhat by point guard Cassius Winston as Izzo berated Henry for on-court mistakes. After Harris' incident, it was associate head coach DJ Stevens but following a post-game shower, Harris said he was leaving the arena when he saw a smiling man waiting down a hallway with a raspy voice. I wasn't gonna say nothing to him. I was just gonna. The two made amends and moved on, and Harris learned Izzo probably enjoys some level of confrontation more than most. He loves it. He loves it. Izzo's teams have often been defined by their fire-tough rebounders, rugged players, and strong leaders. Harris said if you're not strong-minded, don't go to Michigan State, Harris said. If you can't take, I am not saying you talk back to everything he says. You gotta pick and A bigger conversation has sparked since the incident, regarding whether Izzo should be allowed to be so emotional and confrontational in that setting without repercussion. In an age in which there's a fine line between discipline and abuse, and the situation is further muddled because it's unpaid players who are expected to endure such behavior. Memphis and other Michigan State alums took to social media to defend Izzo and almost chided the media for even questioning his methods. Harris believes there's a line, but that Izzo didn't approach it. Other Nuggets player, as long as you don't put your hands on somebody, say something degrading to somebody's family or as a man, Harris said. Everybody has it. Izzo has grown more publicly defiant over the years, perhaps because his search for a second national championship has resulted in more disappointment than triumph. An old-school coach with methods that have taken Michigan State to 7 Final Fours and a Naismith Hall of Fame induction in 2016, his players have said Izzo puts love inside the tough love but it's usually the tough part that catches attention. You can see all the former players, it's why everybody says something. We all know Izzo. Related slideshow best photos of the NCAA tournament provided by Iman. More from Yahoo Sports.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.